Hello, Bean. Bean, will you do the intro? Will you say welcome to the Unhinged Library?
Right.
Welcome!
Hello!
Oh, you're scared. I'm scared.
Like, oh. Welcome to
Hello.
the Unhinged Library. I'm Alicia.
I'm Haley.
It's nice to meet you all. Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
We're just two girls who like to read and wanted to explore sharing with others of our love for reading. So, welcome everyone.
Pretty much it's because we got busted talking about books too much at work, and too many people were invested to actually find out what the books were.
And they didn't want to read the books. They
No.
just wanted to listen to us rant and talk about books.
Yes. And this is Jelly Bean.
Everyone, welcome Jelly Bean. This is our mascot.
She also enjoys reading. She has a higher IQ than I do.
I have not tested my IQ, but she probably has a higher one. So yeah, let's get into this, I guess.
Yeah.
So Hallie, what is your love for reading? How long have you loved reading for?
Oh God. So I'll start off. I am dyslexic and I have ADHD. So reading was always really hard for me when I was little, and I didn't really like it until I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, when I actually started actually reading. But yeah, no, now I am a Kindle girly. Kindle helps my everything.
So is that your preferred method, is an ebook, like a Kindle book?
Yeah. I genuinely read faster and better on my Kindle than trying to read a physical book. I'll do it. It's just begrudging.
Yep, I agree. I didn't think I read so slow until I start reading a paperback book, and I'm like, another page later.
Yeah. I look at where my bookmark is. I'm like, I really only read that much? It's not that much.
I thought there was more. I like seeing the little percentage. It's a nice accomplishment.
Yeah. Or the hours, and you're just like, oh, you really think it's going to take me 6 hours to read this? Let's go.
Oh. I have to sometimes stop blocking it, because then I'll be like, yeah, we're going. We're racing. Call me Too Fast, Too Furious. Bean is interested.
Bean may start biting the mic. I am sorry if all you hear is her purring. She's a very happy girl.
Very, very happy kitty. So I feel like I was kind of similar, that I didn't like reading. I remember, hopefully none of my teachers are watching, I used to try copy off of people, not read the books, until I think I got forced into an AIS reading in 4th grade, and they told me I was going to get held back, and I said, no way, Jose, not for me. So then I started reading, and I kind of fell off for a bit. When college happened, I just didn't feel like I had time to read, and then I started reading again, as an adult, and now I love reading. I started a book club. We started a book club.
Yeah, we have a book club. That's a good time.
Mm-hmm. That's called Big Book Energy.
Mm-hmm.
We do read some fat books.
Sometimes.
And some not so fat books other times. But yeah, I feel like this year is my reading. I'm in my reading era.
Perfect. We love that.
The reading
also,
era.
School books are always depressing, and I don't blame you for not wanting to read them.
Okay, so I never read Lord of the Flies during school. I read it last year, and that book,
I remember.
Yeah, it made me rage.
Yes, I remember.
I come to Hallie's desk 6 a.m. I'm just I'm frustrated. First of all, I'm piggy. Obviously, well, you don't have your glasses on right now.
Yeah,
but we're
no,
both piggy.
I identify. I get it.
And just the hierarchy, I'm just not here for it. Not here. I mean, Where the Red Fern Grows wasn't bad. I enjoyed that.
They're good books. They're just depressing. I mean, The Outsiders, Dally freaking committed suicide by cop, and nobody talks about it. Catcher in the Rye, they idolized the kid who killed himself. Holden literally, idolizes that kid who jumped off the school building, and it's oh, maybe we shouldn't let, adolescent minds read this.
And we always read very odd books and odd topics to discuss. I guess it makes you open to wanting to discuss those.
I think every single book I read in school that I remember that has made a lasting impression was the ones that, like, a character dies horribly in. Because, like, I remember a book about the Triangle Waste Factory fire.
Yes, I remember
Rose.
that.
Her name was Rose. She was almost essayed by her boss at one point. I remember that part. And then the fire happened, and it's talking about her, like, either deciding to jump or just die in the fire. And, like, I don't remember how that book truly ended. I just remember being horrified that this is the book. I read that in, like, oh god,
like 7th,
8th grade, yeah.
When you start learning about, like, sweatshops and, like, all of that. I remember that.
Yeah, that one has, like, haunted my memory since then.
Lives rent-free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun. All right, so we do have some of our favorite reads with us. Both of us have the same author.
We are Sarah J. Maas girlies. I mean, obviously, we're under 30 and read.
Yeah. I mean, she got me back into reading, so I can't say I don't love her.
She's done so much for, like, just reading and, like, the genre of, like, fantasy in general. Now, granted, if you ask my boyfriend, she rips off Lord of the Rings. Which then when he breaks it down, he's not wrong. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, we can be hurt.
Yeah.
Just like, what's his other, or Aragon. Everything's Aragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
One day we'll talk more about the men in our lives, because they definitely have some good hot takes. But today's not the day for their hot takes.
No.
Today's the day to meet us. So my favorite Sarah J. Maas series is going to have to be Throne of Glass, which you actually introduced me to, because I started with ACOTAR, like a lot of people do, on the journey, which, I mean, that's my recommendation for Sarah J. Maas journey, is starting with ACOTAR. I don't know, you agree?
I ask people if they like high fantasy more or romance more, because, like, I feel like that's what makes or breaks it. Because, like, my cousin would have struggled starting with ACOTAR, because she would have been like, this is, like, dumb. There's nothing here. But she loves Throne of Glass because she likes the higher fantasy. So,
where I feel like a lot of the people that I know, they're getting into reading, so they haven't read before, so they like that, like, romantasy read a lot easier.
It's a very approachable series. It's not like walking into, like, a completed series or, like, her tomes.
So, what is your favorite ACOTAR book?
You're gonna fight me on this.
I know. I figured that was yours. Yep. Mine is a tough choice because I like ACOWAR and I like ACOMAF both, but I do like Court of Mist and Fury probably more. Chapter 54. Love that chapter. I listen to that chapter a lot to fall asleep too. But
see, I would do Silver Flames and then ACOWAR. I liked the storyline in ACOWAR. Silver Flames, like, it's great. I can't knock it. It's a really good book. I'm just over Hades Persephone.
Yes,
I can't do it anymore.
I would agree. Which I don't think we're gonna do a deep dive anytime soon on Sarah J. Maas on this. No, but eventually, maybe one day.
I have theories. You will see my hair being pulled out. It's wonderful.
I wanted you all to experience this fun.
She's like, I have been dealing with this for over a fucking year. Help me.
Normally, you're like the stressing, like, what's the new emoji in Inside or Not? Like, anxiety? Like, that's like, you're like freaking out, and I'm the red guy.
You're anger?
Anger. Like, I'm just like, I'm frustrated. This is making me mad. I'm still gonna read it, but it's making me mad.
Yeah, and I'm just like tweaking out over like, what if they decide to do this? And it's like there's no more books. Like, it's not done yet. You don't know what she's gonna do. Stop worrying about it. It's gonna be great no matter what.
Yeah, we're gonna love it. We're all gonna read it. Some of us are gonna pre-order it. We'll see. I don't know. I love Sarah J. Maas a lot, so I'll probably still pre-order it. Who am I playing?
I'll probably pre-order it on my Kindle and then, like, wait and go get a copy when I know that they're not, like, all messed up. Because, like, let's talk about the book supply chain. Hi, I used to work in the book supply chain. It's a mess. It's not great. Mistakes can't even be fixed. Like, if I were to look through a manuscript and find it, I couldn't even edit it. I'd have to, like, reach out to the home office, which, like, for us was Toronto. And they came in at different hours, and then they'd have to reach out to who actually fixes it. So, yeah. Also, like, the schedule for, like, when books go out, it's not like you're doing a book a day, guys. Like, you're supposed to get a bunch of titles ran in a day and get them out. So, like, mistakes can happen. Newer machines are better. They don't happen as, like, mistakes don't happen as much. I was running on, like, 30-year-old machines. But, like, it's okay to kind of trash the bigger companies, but remember, there's, like, little people like me also thrown in the mix. So just be nice to everybody, please.
We all just want to read nice books that are all printed right.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We'll get there.
But anyway, we were sharing our favorites.
Yeah. So this is also a thing we do. We go off on tangents a lot.
ADHD. I've already stated it.
Yes. Mine's undiagnosed, but I know I have it. I told my mom I did. And every time I tell one of my bosses, I'm like, I have undiagnosed ADHD. They just kind of smile and look at me and laugh. So
yeah.
Thanks, homies. So mine is going to be Kingdom of Ash. And I struggled to pick this because I was between Queen of Shadows and Kingdom of Ash. And yours?
Mine is House of Sky and Breath.
All right. So I guess my Kingdom of Ash choice, I like the reason, like, how the story becomes full circle in this book. I do like the writing. I think Sarah J. Maas does a good job writing in third point of view and being able to jump to the different perspectives and know who you're kind of actually, like, listening to and whose eyes you're viewing from. There's certain things in this book that destroyed me that I will leave it to you to read and to be emotionally destroyed with as well. Comment below all your devastation because I feel it. I love this book, though. As much as it traumatizes me and as bad as it, like, it hurts, I love to recommend it.
I was waiting for you to come talk to me about it, like, at work. Like, when I knew you were going through the series, I'm like, I just need you to get here with me.
Yep.
Because I was, like, sobbing on the couch when I read parts.
Yep. And I love that, too, because I love listening to things at work and then kind of crying and then someone coming up to my desk and be like, hey, can you help me with something? Yeah, no problem.
That's where I'm not crying, you're crying comes in.
Yeah.
We've heard that a lot, too.
And there's some things that you don't expect. So, like,
yeah,
it really hits. But,
like, the entire first third of the book, which also, like, the first third of the book is why, like, when you get later in this series, certain scenes are obviously, like, very limited or edited because of that. That is the culprit that led to, like, the
culprit in there.
The next book, not in this one. No.
Yeah.
Next book. That's obviously why it was, like, toned back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a smidge toned.
They're like, hey, you can't do that to them again. Okay?
I was reading that series at my grandma's house, and my grandma was talking about how she doesn't like to read spice, and I was like, please don't read what title this is that I'm reading, Grandma.
I mean, but...
Also, Grandma, I love you if you're watching this.
Hello, Alicia's grandmother. I may or may not have met you at this point.
Yes.
Hello.
No.
I mean, but, like, in the realm of Sarah J. Maas, like, ACOTAR is still the spiciest series. Like, it's definitely, like, that is the least amount of spice. This is middle ground for her. And then ACOTAR, I would say, is, like, definitely the spiciest.
Yep, I would agree.
I would say these are the two high fantasy series, and that is the romantasy series.
Mm-hmm. And you get a little bit more of your spice in this one. Like, not that Throne of Glass you don't get spice, but you really don't.
It started out as, like, a younger book, and then, like, aged itself up, which is so nice. I love that. But because this started out as adult, like, obviously, it was still slow burn in the first book until, like, no, they didn't. Not until the second book, right? Yeah, because they had that agreement thing.
Yeah, the agreement thing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the first book was a lot of world building.
I love that.
I did like it, but I was a little confused. Not gonna say it didn't take me a bit.
Warning you.
I mean, and again, I picked Christmas time to like I had time to like actually like sit down and really try to understand it and read it, and it was fun. Like by the time I got like I think 20% of the way in, I was just
Once you're in, you're good. It's getting there that is the struggle for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, if you like D&D, if you like RPG games and like things like that, I would say this series is definitely a good series for you, because you get all that background information like your DM would be laying out for you right away, and then you get the story, and it's just it's nice. You have everything that you need
for the most part.
Yeah, until
the last 20 pages of the book.
Until other things happen.
Dun dun dun. We'll leave these spoiler free for you, even though most of the internet has probably spoiled these for you.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So what's your reading goal this year?
My reading goal was 50.
So what is it now?
I'm at like 43.
Okay.
But I had it figured out that like as long as I get like one book a week done, I like hit it perfectly. And now, because I've been doing audiobooks at work more, I've been going through more than one book a week, so I'll probably go past it. Probably not that much past it, but like I'll get past it.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten into audiobooks more since I found out about Libby, because I didn't know about Libby, which if you don't know about Libby did not sponsor this. Libby, if you want to sponsor me, anytime, girl, anytime. But Libby is a free library app that you can read on your phone, and you can apply for free public library cards, unless some cities do require you to pay, depending on the city. And you also can apply for different library cards that aren't necessarily your hometown. You just have to see what ones accept out-of-state residents. But then you can read on there, you can do magazines, you can do audiobooks.
I still don't know how to get other libraries on Libby, but I also love Libby. I also just, in general, love libraries. We should be doing more to save libraries. They are the only place in our society that are like truly free to people and should be preserved, because they're the only ones actually doing a service without expecting payment in return for humanity. That's my spiel on libraries.
I do like your spiel. Welcome to the Unhinged Library.
Yeah. I have strong feelings on lots of things.
No, I do wish like people flourish in libraries, and like you actually went to the library more and talked about it. It was something cool. Like I feel like reading's becoming cool again, but for the longest time reading's always just been viewed as nerdy.
It still kind of is. Like there's still like, I mean, I know who I am. I'm not bothered by it.
No, I'm a girl that likes to read a fantasy book.
Yeah.
I mean, I switch it up most of the time. Sometimes. I shouldn't say most of the time. Sometimes. But it's mostly fantasy.
Yeah, mostly. There's always got to be like some element of like, if it's not fantasy, I do like historical stuff. I just like history though, but like I'm not going to pick up like a war general's book. It's probably not my vibe.
Have you seen The Wager, or like that book, or no?
No.
That one is like, I feel like it's kind of like how Lord of the Flies meets the show Manifest, in the sense of like a shipwreck goes missing and then it eventually comes back. I was going to read that, but it was like on Barnes & Noble's bestsellers last year. Like when you said historical, maybe.
I do not trust stores' bestsellers lists. I think they are trying to push books that companies have bought multiple copies of just to have in a warehouse somewhere to say they're a bestseller. Because that's a thing.
You're really coming out with the hot takes this first episode. I mean, I don't disagree. I think everyone's a bestseller too.
Yeah.
Everyone always says New York Times. Not that Queen isn't New York Times bestseller, but this book will say it, and I guarantee I can pick up 3 books on that shelf too. That'll say it as well.
Easily.
Everyone's New York Times.
Granted, to like get a book published though, it has to like be able to sell.
To a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
To a market. There's always a market. There's always going to be some niche that likes your product. Someone does. We might not always like it, but someone out there likes it.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about some of the books that have been published that like very much so fall into that category.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shouldn't have made eye contact right then. I'm just dying right now. Oh, girl.
Wow. I don't know. So what's your favorite genre then? You say fantasy?
Fantasy, yeah. Fantasy and romance. I need, there needs to be like a love story. It doesn't need to be spicy. I just need like, I like the humanity that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I need some little morsel. Maybe not much, but something. Like, what was I reading? I know you didn't read Red Rising, but like trying to get like a little morsel. I'm like, just give me someone in this story, please.
Yeah.
Which you do get someone, but.
Yeah, like, because I'm not necessarily, like, I'm not a spice snob. I don't need spice. And, like, I can very much so, like, acknowledge, like, there are books that are genuinely better without the spice.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of spicy books kind of get lost in it. And, like, then the stories just kind of put aside, and it's like, okay, that's great.
Yeah, and it's too much about the vibes and not so much the plot.
Which, like, also, I know a lot of girls that are like that, though, too. So, like, it's accurate.
Shots fired.
Not really. Like, be happy if you're happy, but like there are girls that like they get in a relationship and like they don't keep up with like their friends or like their hobbies, and they kind of get like enveloped in it. And like that's awesome. If you're happy, be happy. Don't let me like, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying I don't always need that in a book.
Yep, I would agree. It's nice, but then sometimes too, I think like authors try to go like too wow factor sometimes. Just like, again, to make your book stand out there and not be like every other book with some spice into it.
Yeah.
And I do like that like little palate cleanse once in a while when you're reading some spiciness. And once in a while, like, oh, okay, like little clean, back to spice, back to clean.
It needs a balance. Mm-hmm. It's like food. It can't be too spicy.
No. Then you can't eat it all.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten like one of those books where it's like a spice book and like you just like you can't finish it because you're like I don't need this right now.
Do you remember the book that I read at work? Oh, I was gonna say, hold on. Do you?
Yeah, that's a dumb question to ask you. I know about that one.
I mean, I force myself to read it because I do that a lot, but I'm getting better. I actually DNF powerless. Go me.
Look at you go. You don't DNF books. I DNF shamelessly because I mood read. So if the ADHD doesn't want the book, the ADHD doesn't want the book. I can't force it.
I'm a firm believer that, like, if I can read the whole book and I hate it, I can hate on it more that I've read the whole book versus, like, not finishing it. Because, again, there might be answers that you don't get. But at the same time, like, this year I'm accepting DNFing books more. I think I've maybe DNF'd 4 or 5, like, not too many, but that book was overwhelming.
Yeah. You also generally, like, hate on books more than I do. Like, I'll pick, like, one part where I'm like, I could have been, done without it, but, like, overall it was good, and you're just like, no, trash.
Yeah. Trash.
Yeah.
I do like to do that. I mean, I read them and I enjoy them. It's not like I don't, but I definitely, again, I'm the little red guy. I rage.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Scorpio in me.
Oh,
not that I'm like really like
which is
crazy
weird,
into zodiac signs,
but that's the thing is it's weird because I'm the Aries, so I'm the one who's supposed to be mad all the time.
Yep.
Which like I generally am mad all the time.
I'm spiteful and vengeful. In general, like I admit that freely. I really do. I can hold a grudge for a really long time. But if I like you, I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. We're in the corner. But again, honesty is always the best policy. Let's be real.
Yeah. No shame in not liking something.
Yep.
Also, don't feel bad for what you do like. I like books that nobody else likes. That's fine.
And, like, just because we might not like a book or like a part of a book doesn't mean you shouldn't still enjoy that book, too.
We also disagree on things, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nesta.
Yeah.
I like Nesta. I got no problem with Nesta.
Don't really like Nesta. So the first time I read Silver Flames, I couldn't even finish it because my hatred for Nesta was hard. And then took a little break and went back to it. And I'm able to accept her growth and I like her as a character. But I think there's certain flaws that I don't always agree with in Nesta. And I think that's because I've had Nestas in my life and I identify more as like a Farrah for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a little bit why I have my beef with her. But again, at the end of the day, I do like her. And I definitely think she's going to become more powerful than Farrah. Poor girl.
We're not getting into theories.
I know we're not getting into theories.
Don't do this.
Sipping the tea.
My cat's just eyeballing us from the counter. It's fine.
This is good though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like the Black Cask bourbon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tea supported by Hallie.
I enjoy beverages.
I don't know, she made me some like black bourbon tea or something.
Black Cask bourbon tea.
Mm-hmm. I recommend it. A little sugar. Do you know your socials off the top of your head? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, we should probably share our socials in like this first episode too.
So we can link our Goodreads.
Oh, we can?
Well, in the comments, like in the little blurb, we could link our Goodreads.
We could do that.
Clearly, we are not organized. This is two girls with ADHD trying to do something. So bear with us. Like,
that's why it's called the Unhinged Library.
We're here to have fun. We're here to make friends.
Yes.
We're here to talk about books.
Yes, if you want to talk about books, slide up in the DMs for sure. All right, so my bookstagram is alicia.reads.716, and I will link it at the bottom of this screen here.
My bookstagram is bookbabe415, all one word. She will link it for me as well.
In the bottom of this
screen. And we'll link our Goodreads.
Yeah.
I have a TikTok, but I barely post on TikTok, and like frankly, it may be like getting poofed and taken away soon. So, if TikTok exists in 6 months, we'll link it.
Yep. I have a TikTok. I deleted TikTok.
No, you don't.
Oh, technically there's one that exists. And if you really want to know my hot take on my one video of the book that I don't like, that I forced myself to read because I want to know the ending, it's on my TikTok.
It is there.
It is there. And if you want to find it, go you, girl. I will not answer you on there because I don't have TikTok on my phone. But, yeah. All right, everyone.
Bye.
It was nice meeting you all. See you next episode.